Shalom, everyone, and you know by now that shalom means hello. It also means peace, and I hope the peace that passes all understanding is keeping your hearts and minds in Messiah Yeshua. I'm Rabbi Dr. Joseph Rosenfarb, and I'm the Rabbi of Beth Messiah Synagogue of Tidewater here in Norfolk, Virginia. We're at 7130 Granby Street here in Norfolk, 23505 if you want to write us. Or you can go to the website for Beth Messiah Synagogue Tidewater and catch us there. Should you have questions, we invite you to leave your questions on the website, and we will get back to you in future videos answering your question so to interact with you a little bit. Today's subject is the subject of Daniel 9, this beautiful prophecy about the Messiah, in Daniel chapter 9, verses 24 to 27. And as a young man, I found this particular scripture, and it enamored me. And I began to investigate what it might mean. One day I found myself at Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati, Ohio, looking up books in the library to really see whether or not I was getting the right interpretation. And I found that by interacting with a rabbinical student there and reading the books, it was found that I was reading the text correctly. Here in Daniel chapter 9, verse 27, Daniel has been in a quandary. The prophecy regarding the exiles from Babylon is coming to an end in terms of the captivity, and Daniel's wondering what's going to happen next. Are the people coming back? They really don't seem to want to come back. And so an angel comes to him and gives him an answer. And part of the answer was that from the commandment to build Jerusalem and restore it, which was 444, 446 under Artaxerxes. We see that in Nehemiah chapter 2. And to the Messiah would be 490 years. And what would happen in those 490 years? There would be an end of sin and finish of transgression. Great and lofty things would ensue, so as to bring in a messianic kingdom, that sin would be finally taken care of once and for all. There would be peace between mankind and God, and between Israel and God as well, and Israel and the nations. And it was a beautiful prophecy. In that prophecy there are some markers, and one of the markers is that the Messiah, the Anointed One, would be cut off, and his disciples would flee. The Hebrew text, Ein Lo, the Ein Lo, indicates that his disciples would not back him. They would flee. That's just what happens in the gospel accounts. Of course, when Yeshua of Nazareth is arrested, the disciples flee. And he would be cut off. The disciples would flee. And then the ruler of a people who will come afterwards will destroy the city and the sanctuary. Now this is very significant because it means that the Messiah had to come before the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple. Now that occurred in 70 CE. So, if the temple was destroyed in 70 CE, Jerusalem destroyed in 70 CE, according to this text, the Messiah, the Anointed One, had to have come and have been cut off, and the disciples having fled. Now, there's only one contender that I can point to that fits this bill, and it's Yeshua of Nazareth. It is the point of the entire Brit Chadasha, the New Testament, and I've come to believe that indeed he fits the bill for being the Messiah. Anyone who comes after 70 CE is just simply too late. We cannot expect him to come in our day outside of a second coming where the Messiah of Israel will restore all things unto himself and bring in the Garden of Eden again. A new era in our history would ensue. So, remember this. The Messiah had to have come before 70 CE. Yeshua of Nazareth is the only one that fits the bill. Shalom, and I'll see you next time.